New tax bill makes it hard to do Roth conversions, especially for single people. All right, so I just got off the horn with the lady. We'll call her Becky. Becky in Arkansas. All right, first time, long time. And Becky's single, only 60 years old, no kids, not married. Well, obviously single, not married. And just legend, crushing, kicking. She's been working her same job for 34 years and a tough job. And she's just freaking hard charging, good old red-blooded American, man. And she hired me because she was under the premise that Roth conversions could really make a difference to her. And I said, I've been through this a million times. I said, I don't think so. So we crunched some numbers, and it's just not there. It's not there. And she was fine with that. She likes to invest. She wants to spend her time investing, taking care of mom, going traveling, whatnot. But I said, I just don't see any benefit of it, especially now that we're not going from a 12 to 15 or, basically 12, 15, 22 to 25 and whatnot. There's just no there for sure. So she needs some money before Social Security kicks in. I said, instead of doing Roth conversions, just pull the money from your IRA to live on, and that will kind of level that tax. Because right now she's a very, very low tax bracket. In the future, the RMDs kick in, it'll be in a higher tax bracket, the 10 to 12, essentially, no big deal. Your effective tax rate will go from I want to say 9 to 13 or something like that. And I said, yeah, you can lower it a little bit, but to do Roth conversions doesn't make sense. So anyway, so we're going to run some numbers here. We got Diane's sample. Old Diane, freaking crushing for us. She got $1 million in her IRA. All right, she's 60 years old, just like old Becky from Arkansas. She's got goals. She's going to spend $4,000 a month in her retirement, and she's going to take Social Security. Oops, not already started. She's going to take Social Security at 65. That's what I told Becky. So just take it when you coordinate Social Security and Medicare. That way, you don't have to have another thing to worry about in terms of making the Medicare premiums. All right, so we're going to go over here. We're going to go to retirement. And hang tight. And like Becky, Diane is single, no kids. So, leaving the legacy isn't the biggest important. And what you'll see here is she has a 77% probability of success, leaving about $81,000 at her death, taking that $48,000 a year or $4,000 a month, which is the equivalent of a 5.5 distribution amount to start with. And we adjust this for inflation. I think we're doing the retirement spending stages here. Let's see. Yeah, retirement spending stages, which means when she hits 75, she'll drop her spending by 10%. So her spending will go up each and every year, 3%, 3%, 3%, 3%, until she hits 75, and they'll drop by 10%. They'll go up each and every year, until she hits 85, and they'll drop by 10% again. So, and this is obviously, right, I can't even speak. This is a 35-year retirement. So let me just adjust this a little bit to make it not live to 95. We'll just have her live until she's 90 because that's just too long. All right, there you go. All right, so let's see what happens here. Go back to, I imagine this will probably go up to 84 or something like that. Let's see, extra five less years, 96. All right, so there you go. All right, so now what happens is we're going to look at the tax thing, and you can see she's an a marginal income tax bracket 12% forever. She's not going above that. She's not going below that. We'll see her effective tax rate right here. Oh, effective. I got to get rid of that one. Because she's not 65. So she has a state tax in Georgia because she's not 65. Remember, in Georgia, once you're 65, you get the first $65,000 tax-free. I think it's half that between 62 and 65 or something like that. But anyway, so she has that effective tax rate in the state of Georgia until she's 65, then no more taxes. But look at 6.2%, just hardly anything to worry about at all. And then we go to retirement, and we're just going to show you here. Cash flows. I mean, let me show you what I'm talking about. There we go. Summary. So here, and this is what Becky was worried about. She's worried about like IRMAs and stuff when RMDs kick in. I said, you're not going to have much in IRMAs. Now, you're just not, Becky wasn't going to have any IRMAs at all, and neither will Diane here. Her expense is $58,000. So it's hard to make the case to do Roth conversions. Now, we can say, hey, let's do them. Let's see what it looks like if we did do some Roth conversions. Go to tax strategies. And what we'll do here is we'll fill up the 12% tax bracket. So let me show you what I'm doing here. Boink. All right, so you can see, we got to hit refresh. There you go. You can see that white line, that white space in there. We're going to fill up that white space, the 12% tax bracket, because that green line is the top of the 12% tax bracket. We're going to say, let's fill up that gap with Roth conversions. So fill up the 12% tax bracket, and we'll see if that changes anything. So we go boink, 12%, refresh. and you can see that green. All right, so basically at this stage, she has no more taxes right here when she's 86 years old. So we're filling up to 12%. Let's see what it does from an effective tax rate, marginal tax bracket, and how much she leaves as a legacy behind her. So we're going to go to retirement tax strategy right there. Click on the proposed strategy, and you all can do everything I'm doing here. Y'all can do it too, by the way. And so look over here, proposed plan. Proposed plan, she leaves $34,000 less. Her probability of success drops as well. All right, so that, I mean, that's not a good win for taxes. So then we're going to also see retirement details, how much she ended up paying in taxes total on both of it. I think it's spending comparison. Yeah, tax expense. Her proposed plan, that's with the Roth conversions, she paid 104. Is that right? 144,000. Her current plan is 107. Let's see if that's actually right. Let's go back to tax. We're going to look at details here. No tax. We want to look at tax strategies right there. Yeah, federal tax plays. Okay. I wonder what that other one was about. Interesting. Summary of tax strategy. That's interesting because here it says proposed she pays 196,000 in taxes, and the current with no Roth conversion she pays 157. I'm not sure. I got to look into that. I'm not sure what the other one was about. The proposed. I have to dive into that. I'll have to email Right Capital and say, what's the difference between these two? I don't know the answer. So total spending comparison, tax expense. Quite sure what the difference there. That's interesting. Anyways, keep running. I'll email Right Capital to figure it out. But at the end of the day, so she pays more in taxes than she did with the Roth conversions, and she leaves less behind. I mean, the only thing you could argue is that at least the stuff she leaves behind, she leaves proposed plan, she leaves 674,000 in Roth, current, which is all tax free to whatever heirs she has. But again, Becky has no heirs. Diane Sample, we're going to say, have no heirs either. And what's this? There's Diane. She leaves 600. What did I say before? How much did she leave in the Roth? 600 and how much thousand in the Roth? 674,000 in Roth, and then Diane leaves how much in her traditional? Shouldn't have a Roth. She leaves 670,000, and but another 116,000 in her brokerage account. So not only does Diane pay more in taxes, she leaves less behind. It's hard to make the case that Roth makes sense for her. So if you're single, I mean, I'm not saying it doesn't, but just think twice about doing it. All right, love your thoughts. God bless. Smash and tickle that like button. We'll see you